So what's going on? What's going on? So we are back. We are officially back. I'm sitting down. I'm not walking around. I'm ready to actually give y'all the game, literally. So it's this formula that I actually put together, and I actually broke it down into a course. But I'm going to give you all the foundational principles behind each, I guess you want to say, module in the course, and how that actually helps you get to the life that you want. You know, so it's 5 key principles to the game, and it literally spells out game, but not the traditional way that you're used to it, G-A-M-E. It actually spells it out G-A-M-E-E, so I guess it wouldn't be game, but in my, yeah, it's game to me, whatever. In order to actually, you know, get the things that you want, so when it comes to abundance, when it comes to faith, and we hear so much talk about well, you know, should I actually, you know, is it real to just claim things and expect them to happen? Or is manifestation real? You know, all right, the affirmation thing, does it work? You know, you want to know all these things because maybe you don't like the current situation that you're in. You know, whether it's your personal life, your mindset, you're just starting out as an entrepreneur. You're working a 9 to 5 and you want to get into entrepreneurship, but you're unsure, like your faith just isn't there. Maybe you don't have faith in your product. Maybe you don't have the faith in yourself, in your gifts, your talents. And I don't know if I said it in my first video, but you know, I believe that everyone has their own individual gifts in life. Like, I feel like we all have a gift. Sometimes I believe that your gift is the reason why your life is the way that it is. But you also have control over, you know, of course, your life and to a certain extent, into what happens. But at its core, at the core of everything, what the name is, you know, creating habits and things like that. At the core is your habits. And so what I'm going to show you today is these are actually steps that you can take right now today. You can actually do these steps now at the start of your week, at the start of your day. And these are the exact same steps that, like I explained when I was showing you the sweet spaces, that got me to the point that I am now. Like I said, I'm about 80 pounds down during the pandemic. Like, I started my journey, I started my affirmation journey December 4th of 2020. And up until now, so we're, you know, over 9 months later, I'm 80 pounds down. Commercial property, I've put commercial property into my real estate portfolio of things that I actually have that are generating income. And then I have an investment property. I already had the investment property though. I did a lot of traveling this year, and the year is not over with. Things more so, I want to say, they slowed down because some things happened this year. At the beginning of the summer, experienced a big loss in the family, but yeah, and so that, alongside of that, is definitely, this year has definitely been a blessing, you know, and so let's get into it. What the things that you can do though right now today. So goals represents the G, affirmations represent the A, manifestation the M, empowerment, and then execution. All right, so step number 1, what you want to do to ensure and to help with your lack of faith, to help with you getting to the life that you want, become the individual that you want to become. Game is your foundation for whatever it is that you're looking to do, whether it's you're looking to step into entrepreneurship, whether you're looking to, you know, get away from your job, whether you're looking to, you know, lose some of the pandemic weight, whether you're looking to shift your mind, whether you're looking to travel more. Game is going to be your foundation, all right? And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm about to show you why and how and all that good stuff, right? So, goals. Starting out with goals. What you want to do and why your goals may not have, why they probably haven't been working out for you. A common mistake that most people make when it comes to their goals is they don't write them down. You have to actually write out what it is that you want, all right? So that's step number 1. You got to write out your goals. After you write out your goals, you got to read your goals aloud. You got to put them out into, you know, the universe. You know, you got to put them out there because everything's energy. So you got to put out what it is that you want, because whatever it is, the things that you got, some of the material things that you have in your life right now, you vocalize wanting these things at some point, whether you realize it or not. And the things that you tend to write down on a piece of paper, it kind of just brings life to it, because instead of it just being a thought, because we have about 6,000 thoughts a day, instead of just, having all these thoughts, no, let me write this focused thought, this thing that I want down, this thing that I want to actually achieve down. Let me write it down. And we're not writing our goals down and putting them on a to-do list. No, we're writing our goals down and putting them on an accomplishment list. Who wants to do their goals? Does it sound better to just, I just want to, things that you just do, you're doing this. Sometimes we just do stuff just to do stuff. But things that you accomplishments make you feel good. You feel good about it once you're done, okay? So the second thing is that in game is affirmations. So affirmations, yes, affirmations work. I started my affirmation journey December 4th, and every day, and this is currently now, it's week 41 for me. And every day, every week, up until recently, probably the last like 2 to 3 weeks, I shifted it around what I wanted it to be. But every day and every week, for every day, 7 days, I recorded a video of affirmations, of the same affirmation. So I would start off my week with an affirmation. I would read that affirmation before I went to work. So before I went to work, I would read this affirmation, and then I would read it multiple times a day, and I would be surrounded by the affirmation multiple times a day. And that's honestly, it is key, because your environment and what's in your environment is very important. And so if you're surrounded by positivity, your mindset is going to be focused on positivity. If you're surrounded by negativity, your focus is going to be negativity. And so, but my affirmations weren't just any old affirmations like, oh, I'm successful. No, they were very specific as to what it is that I wanted, as to my goals. So you want to shape your affirmations around your goals. So if you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, and that's, and I aim to help all people, but specifically what this channel is for, and why I record these videos and why I put out my content is for those people that maybe you're in your 9 to 5 and you don't like it, or you're in a situation like I was in. My job was a 10 to 8, and or you're an 11 to 7, or you maybe work overnight, or maybe you're in a transition. You're already in your 9 to 5 and you're looking to transition out of it. That's what this channel is for. I want to show you all just kind of the steps that you can take, like real steps that you can take because a lot of entrepreneurship is mindset. A lot of doing things and actually executing is mindset. And so the first half of game is mindset. You got to get your, and that's life. Like, I'm looking at this game acronym as life, though. You have to get your mind right, All right, so getting back to it, affirmations. We put the affirmation, we make the affirmation, you make it actually congruent with our actual goals. So the affirmation has to walk in alignment with your goal. So if your goal is, say you're an aspiring entrepreneur, and your goal is to get your first client, all right? So you maybe want to reshape your goal, because you can't really put an affirmation around it. But you can put an affirmation around you reaching out to, you can set a goal where I am going to reach out to, every day I'm going to reach out to 30 people. That's your goal. Now your affirmation will look like, in the morning, I am so grateful and thankful that I reached out to 30 people today, and that from reaching out to 30 people, I got my first client or whatever. All right, so that's the affirmation. Now, what you're gonna do with this affirmation is, because it is attached to something that you actually want in your life, and that it's actually important to you, and there's emotional attachment, and you've put that out there, now that's where the faith portion comes in. Because faith, to me, and in reality, it's like a two-sided coin, like the whole belief thing, like in doubt. Whether you get something or you don't get something, you have to believe in both outcomes. So in order to get the things that you want, you have to believe that you can. In order to not, when you don't get what you want, when you were surrounded by negative thoughts, so you believe that there was going to be no good from, whatever it is, the outcome that you were looking to get. So it's belief on both sides, and you have to understand that. And when you understand these principles, and these are the things that I started to understand after like doing so many weeks of affirmations, I was like, man, well, if I wake up each and every day and I claim this affirmation, and this affirmation is in alignment with my goals, and I say it each and every day, and I go, and I'm doing not just once a day though, multiple times a day, and I feel that in my heart because it's attached to something that I emotionally want. And then I start to believe it more and more that I say it, and then I start to do the things necessary, and I claim it. So now we're shifting into the manifestation portion. You are literally manifesting it when you speak it. So what you say, so you are literally manifesting these things when you speak them, right? So what you say in every day, I'm gonna have a good day, or this day is lousy, or this isn't gonna work. Just pay attention to your words. So even if you don't take these steps today, even though I think you should, but I understand how it works, I understand. But if you really want to change your life, you're gonna take these steps and these principles today, and you're gonna start to implement them. And so with manifestation, with you saying the affirmations, you are naturally manifesting you actually doing the thing, you actually getting your outcome because you are saying it and you're putting that out there. You're saying each and every day, 3 times a day, I'm going to reach out to 30 people, and from that 30 people, I'm so excited because one of those people actually is going to book with me, or they booked with me, and now I have a client. Even if it's just I'm going to reach out to 30 people every day, you are manifesting the energy necessary, and you're just manifesting you're actually creating with your words, because everything is created from thought, and then that person, they wrote it down, and then they put together a blueprint, and then they claimed that they were going to do it. So that's how manifestation works. You can literally manifest anything that you think of. But you have to write these things down. You have to be focused on them. You have to go after them, and you have to claim them. And so the manifestation portion of game, it's you claiming that thing that you want, whatever it is, whatever the goal is, it's you claiming that. And it's not just you claiming it, but you believing that you're going to get it. Because each and every day, I want you, whatever your goal is, at least 2 to 3 times a day, at least for sure, the first thing you do when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, get your mind right and get your mind focused on the goal as to what you need to do today. So if your goal is to, reach out to 30 people a day, all right, fine. Each and every day, I need to reach out to 30 people. What is the best way? How can I reach out to 30 people today? What is the best way that I do it? And what did I learn yesterday? And maybe I need to reach out to more today, and so that's with manifestation. With the manifestation portion, I want you to actually 2 to 3 times per day, once when you wake up and once before you go to bed, actually read aloud whatever it is. This is going to be you manifesting whatever it is that you want, because it puts your mind in that mode for your entire day and while you sleep. Because while we're sleeping, yes, our brain is resting, but I believe, and I'm sure there's some sort of proof out there. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not, just the most. Of course, I would like to think that I'm one of the most intelligent and brilliant brains out there. I'm just claiming that I am one of the most intelligent brains out there. But I'm not the smartest person out there, so I'm not going to say that, our brains are doing all these things. But I'm speaking from my personal experience that when I go to sleep claiming what it is that I want, I may not dream about that thing, and sometimes I do, but waking up that next day, it's like I'm already focused, I'm already ready. I'm excited to spend the first portion of my day, the first 10 to 20 minutes of my day, getting into a routine, all right? And I'll talk about routines in another video, but as you can, if you're really paying attention, this should be your morning routine. This is the morning routine that led me to get in the event space. This is the morning routine that led me to becoming a self-published author. I just did it in a different way. In my book, it's the 7x3 rule. So it's pretty much you're gonna do something 7 times, 7 days a week, but you're gonna do it 3 times a day, at least 3 times a day. And doing that, you develop it turns into a part of your daily routine. And when it turns into your daily routine, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it's just you can't go you just do it on autopilot. Once it becomes a habit, you just do it on autopilot. And once you're manifesting something on autopilot, and you're just doing it on autopilot, and you're just claiming it on autopilot, that's how it just, I feel like it just turns into faith. And it's because at that point, it's a belief. And the reason that it's a belief is because you wouldn't do something each and every day if you didn't believe that it was actually working, right? So the next portion, the first E, is empowerment. And empowerment is important because throughout the process of entrepreneurship, throughout the process of your 9 to 5, throughout the process of life, we need to be empowered. The words that we speak are empowering. They can empower you to do things. The words, the things that you do. So you need to empower yourself to get to continue to keep pushing, because how everything works. And how I want to say people, like as people, it's natural. We want things when we want them. We want everything now, but you got to be patient. And that's where you have to have the faith and the belief and understand that it's going to take some time. It took me and my wife, it took us 6 months to get our spaces, 6 months. Now, and it doesn't mean in the 6 months we weren't doing what was necessary to get them. We were actively looking. We were, knocking down doors, reaching out to landlords, and all these things. But it's just kind of like the unit, and not to do the whole but it's what I believe is the universe. It pretty much is just like, look, let me see if you really want this thing. How hard are you really gonna go after this thing that you want? So that's the empowerment portion. What are you doing to empower yourself each and every day? How are you getting your mind right in the morning? What are you doing? Are you empowering others? A great way to learn is by teaching others. When you learn a new piece of information or something that you believe in, teach another. Empower somebody, speak life into someone else, because that's gonna make you feel good about the things that you're doing. Now, I'm not saying go out there and try to get all these, followers and make them believe in what you believe in, but it doesn't cost to be generous to another individual. So empower someone else, and maybe someone in a different position, a position that you want to be in, they'll come along and they'll see what you're doing, and then they'll come along and they'll empower you with some kind words or whatever it is. And then, last but certainly not least, so we went through the 4. So let's recap really quick, because I feel like I went really quick through the acronym of GAME. All right, so we went through goals. So you got to write it out with your goals. You got to write things down. With affirmations, you have to make your affirmation. It has to be in alignment with whatever it is that your goal is. All right, and of course, with our goals, you want something that whatever your goal is, make it have some sort of emotional attachment, because the things that you're emotional about, you care about them, and the things that you care about, they're important to you, and what's important to you, you go after, right? Right. So then manifestation. So we're going to keep speaking with our words that we're going to get and reach our goals. That with your words are literally you manifesting your outcome. And then we're going to next, so we went through the 3, goals, affirmations, manifestations, then 4 is empowerment. So the last thing is execution. So now with execution is it's so funny because I feel as though as people, you just want what you want. We want all these things, but then, okay, then you feel you get overwhelmed, and so you don't execute. Or, because this is all about inspiring entrepreneurs. So as an inspiring entrepreneur, maybe you started developing a product and you're the only one in your circle that's doing this entrepreneur thing, and you don't know, you're online, you're looking for, looking at how to build your website, how to launch this, how to do this, how to do that. And so you get overwhelmed. And so you don't execute. And because you start to execute, but then you stop. And so because you're overwhelmed. And so I'm going to give you a trick with game and how execution works, and how to kind of seal up your foundation with execution. And you going out and doing these things, implementing these steps each and every day. A lot of it is, how bad do you want to get to your outcome? Why is it that you want what you want? Like, what is your why? And once you establish your why, and your why is strong enough, it makes it so much easier to execute. And then you have to realize too that you can't just start something new and then just be great at it right away. Or you just can't expect to just go out and just get all of these, sales the first day that you launch a product. The first day that you execute, the first day that you put out your first video. You have to be consistent with your execution. So in your execution, you need to establish a plan that you can actually follow. Not that I follow, not that anyone else follows, but that you can follow. So if you feel that, game is actually valuable to you, you can actually establish a plan that actually, with your execution, you can establish a plan so that it's going to be easier for you to actually wake up every morning and execute and actually, go over your goals, read them aloud, spend the first 20 minutes of your day. That's the whole thing with execution. You have to plan it. You have to plan how you're going to do what you're going to do, and you got to put the time and the place on when you're going to do that. You just can't expect like, okay, well, I'm going to do it, and because I want it, so I'm going to just do it. How often do you come in from work, or do you come in from, whatever it is, you had a long day, and you don't execute, you don't do the things that you know that you should do. It's like we sit on the couch and we know that we should be posting. Maybe posting is your thing, or we should be building our product, or we should be doing all these things, but because we haven't put a plan together to actually execute, it just doesn't work out. Like I said, the major key of the fifth thing of the foundation, your foundational principles to help you with living an abundant life, with your faith, with developing that belief system in you and the things that you can do. So this five step or five foundational principle of game. So, goals, affirmations, manifestations, empowerment, and execution. This foundation, the last piece is execution. And for you to execute at a high level, you gotta have a plan. You gotta know why you're doing what you're doing, and what that's going to do for you, why you're going after it, and when you're going to do it. And that makes execution so much easier when you put a time and a date on when you're going to do what it is that you're going to do. And whether it's your goals, whether it's anything in life, but specifically your goals, you got to put a time and a date on these things. And so the game, once you understand the concept and you start to implement it, and you're going to start to see a shift in your life, you're going to start to see, you're going to start to attract that abundance. You're going to start to, get more faith, because you're going to see things working for you. But you have to start off with belief, and you have to start off with actually executing before you can actually get the abundant life that you want, before you can actually get your first client, before you can actually launch your first business. You have to do the steps necessary to get to that point. So to get your first client, you have to reach out to people. You got to make more offers. To launch your first product, you have to actually build the product. To actually become an entrepreneur, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to quit your 9-to-5 job. You can be a part-time entrepreneur. You know, maybe you want to keep your job because you're looking at that security. So, but you have to implement, though. That is key. That is, like, out of all of these things, it's one of the most important factors. You have to actually go out and execute. You have to actually go out and implement. You have to actually go out and take actionable steps. You have to go do the activity. You can't get the things that you want without doing the activity. A part of your belief system and why it's not where you want to be at, why you don't have faith in yourself, why you don't believe that you can do the things that you can do, is because you've let yourself down before. You haven't gone out and executed. You didn't have a plan, so you put it out there that you wanted something, but you didn't get it. But let's analyze why you didn't get the thing. Because you didn't have a plan. So if that's you, if you're having a hard time executing, right now, I developed something just for you, and so I actually put together like a complete guide. It's a downloadable PDF worksheet of game, and so it's a little bit deeper dive into game than what you see or what you just listened to for today. You know, on the show, it's a little bit deeper dive in the game. So because I understand that everyone learns differently, so having like a checklist to make sure that, hey, look, I'm doing these things each and every day. These tips and tricks that I use, like I said, to get me my first event space. I actually coached her and helped her over these past couple of years. Well, even before then. Well, and it didn't take a full 2 years, but because of my coaching and the things that I've done and the things that I helped her with, and I showed her a blueprint so she could become an entrepreneur. And so now she's a full-time entrepreneur, she was at a job, a 9-to-5. It wasn't not 9-to-5, but you know, making, you know, more than your traditional, you know, not well above minimum wage, about 3 times. I don't know what minimum wage is in your city, but minimum wage in my city is about $11 an hour, $10 an hour, something like that, 15, whatever it is. She's making about 3 times the amount of minimum wage, but I showed her, because she identified that she didn't like her job. So I showed her the actionable steps that she could take in order to get to the next level. And a part of those actionable steps was game. I literally taught her the game, you know, and once you make game your foundation, and more importantly, you know, once you understand, you know, goals, affirmations, manifestation, empowerment, execution, once you understand how it works and how it can work for you and get you the life that you want, the life that you desire, whether it is, you know, to leave your 9-to-5 job, whether it is to actually, you know, start your first business, whether it is to make your first $1,000 in your online business, or your t-shirt business, or your coaching business, or your cosmetology business, whatever it is, or maybe you want to be an event space owner, so to get your first booking. Understanding these key principles that you're going to find in this downloadable worksheet is going to help you get to the life that you want. So it's free. Download it. It's, like I said, it's PDF. It's kind of more like a checklist. It's just bullet points. You just run through it. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what it does for you. And yeah, and just as a bonus for you actually watching this entire video, because I've talked about event spaces, why not? Like, I'm going to also give you the event space, my event space blueprint. All right, so in my blueprint, I talk about the mistakes that you want to avoid and why people don't end up getting the event space. And then I also break down 6 simple steps that you can take today to get your first event space. So I'm going to give you both of those things, and the reason I'm doing is because you actually stayed and you watched the whole video, or maybe you just jumped to the end of the video. I don't know that people still do that. I think people actually watch videos these days. I don't know. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Either way it goes, I'm gonna give it to you because you came to the channel. I appreciate you taking your time out because at the end of the day, time is valuable. And once you understand that time is valuable, you can make the most of your day. Like once you understand that and you truly understand it though, you can make the most of your day. And that's what I want you all to do. But not just make the most of your day, I want you to make the most of your life. So right now, today, go click the link, click the links down below. I'm gonna have it, it's popping up right now. It should be popping up on your screen right now. The downloadable worksheet for games, a checklist, and it's gonna cover more of a deep in-depth of what we just talked about, and it's free to use. So download it right now, click the link down below, and then while you're at it, go get the event space blueprint. So if you want to invest in real estate, if you're looking to get into real estate, and you see people that are out here, they're doing Airbnb and they're buying real estate property, and you're like, look, I want to do something. You're a little intimidated and you don't know if you really want to be locked into a 30-year mortgage and things like that. Go download the event space blueprint. All right. And so thank you guys for tuning in today. Go check out my other video as well. In that video, I break down the 3 reasons why you should get an event space. And so, and I break down some few other things in that video as well. So go check it out. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It really doesn't take much. Like I said, it's just like we talked about, empowering others. Like that empowers me when someone just likes, shares, comment, and subscribes to my channel. It makes me feel good. Like, if this information made you feel good and you feel like you're gonna actually take those actionable steps, like share, comment, subscribe, why not? Let's build together, let's make the most of our lives together. And that's what I'm here to help you guys do. So thank you again, and thanks for listening to me. Again, my name is Jarrell Henderson, and I will be dropping more content just like this. So if you like it, be on the lookout. Don't forget to download those free gifts, those checklists, those guides. They're free and they actually help, and they're actionable steps for you. So see you guys soon. Talk to you soon. Thanks again.